All right, hey everybody, my name is Jonah Sussman. I'm a software engineer at Red Hat, and today I'm going to be talking about revolutionizing legacy migrations with Konveyor AI. So first off, what is Konveyor? So Konveyor is a CNCF sandbox project that accelerates migration projects. So at its core, a migrator creates analysis rules to flag code locations to fix in many applications. The surfaced info is especially useful for migrating tons of applications. So for example, let's say you're migrating from a really old framework and you want to make something cloud native. It's really tough to do for one application. Imagine replicating it for 10. And then if you're on the order of 500 or more, it's intense. So the goal, of course, being more cloud native technology usage. So on the left here, you can see the Konveyor operator UI has a bunch of applications in various states of being migrated. And then on the right, you can see an example of a rule. So the exact rule doesn't really matter, but basically this rule just says like legacy I should be avoided. If anywhere in Java we find this, just flag it for the migrator to go and take a look. So on to Konveyor AI, or Kai. Konveyor's data is a playground for AI, if you can imagine. Kai utilizes this body of data available in Konveyor to generate recommendations for a migrator to use. So here's a little diagram of how the structure of Kai. So we've got legacy source code and the data that's present in Konveyor. And then we've got analysis issues. So a migrator might take a couple issues and say, hey, I want to fix these. So we also have some solved examples of how those rules were solved in the past. And I'll get to how those are generated in a second. That gets funneled into a prompt, which then goes into an agentic workflow. And if you're unfamiliar with agentic workflows, basically it's an LLM that integrates external tools, such as linters, compilers, tests, et cetera. And an LLM iteratively iterates with it to say, hey, this is what I want to do. Here's how I accomplish it. Like if, for example, if we want to migrate Java, we say, hey, I'm going to need access to a Java compiler. We're going to have a Java linter, maybe access to the file system, et cetera. And it iteratively goes over and over until a satisfactory result is produced. So then we have that result, and that gets passed to the user via an IDE extension. And the user can either accept it or reject it or modify it as needed. And we have the updated source code. And then because we know that something's been accepted or not, we can then store that and catalog that for later to create a sort of loop of, hey, if we ever encounter something like this before or after, we can more effectively solve it. And so what makes Kai unique? Well, Kai leverages existing analysis data. So Konveyor's flag locations are already extremely useful to a migrator. You can imagine how that sort of structured data would be useful for LLMs. And no fine tuning is required. So it's useful for those bespoke, complicated in-house solutions. And also Kai learns over time. So via this accept reject mechanism, we provide LLMs with potential solutions based on what was accepted in past migrations, and we store that data for the future. So we make a bet that AI will get better, so that today's LLMs are probably the worst that they're ever going to be. So here's some screenshots. So you can see, maybe it's a black blob on the screen, but we have this MD5 algorithm is outdated, and then that's an issue, so we want to solve that. So that gets funneled into a prompt. And then in agentic workflow, we have this nice chat interface that it's going over, shows the reasoning of its choices, and then out pops a solution that the user can either accept, reject, or modify. So if you want to get involved and learn more, you can find the project on GitHub. It's that link right there. You can also scan that QR code. We just released our 0.1.0 general availability. So that was awesome. And you can also talk to us at the Konveyor booth at Kiosk 2B, Thursday 10:30 to 13:30, or on Friday 10:30 to 12. And then you can also reach us at the KubernetesSlack.com on those channels, Konveyor and Konveyor Dev. Thank you.